Hi friends, we're back with another tea time. Tea time with Dre Gold Tea. I'm going green tea peppermint just to stay on theme with me doing message to my high school self in my first tea talk. I want to do a message to my college self. I graduated college in 2022, went into college 2018. I was still 17 years old. From the ages of, let's say 17, 18 to the ages of 21, let me tell you, it is a journey. That frontal lobe really does start to develop. And by the end of my college career, I was like, why did you do certain things? Not in a self-hate way. Although, yes, I had to push through a lot of regrets. Same as in high school, I really thought I knew something, and then you look back and you're like, I didn't have a clue. And I might look back at this video when I'm 30 and I'm like, wow, Drea, you didn't have a clue. But I have learned a lot, and I learned a lot within those 4 years. That's what comes to mind first. I'm like, wow, girl, you really thought you knew a little bit of something, and whoa, you were just a tiny little chicken. So a little more background on my college career. I went straight out of high school. I moved around like 45 minutes from my hometown, but it still gave me that chance to grow and live away from home. I'm Mexican, so staying in your Mexican mother's household, it's comfortable. They want you there real bad. They want to cook for you all the time, but comfort does not equal growth, and that is one of the big lessons that I learned. Yeah, the reminiscence is reminiscing right now. So I went in and I studied entertainment media management because I was already doing social media stuff before I went in, and I think that's also why I had a grasp on why I thought I had a grasp on who I thought I was. And also, the self can't truly ever be figured out because you simply just are, and you gotta develop the self. So a big key point, I feel like I thought I had clarity, but then again, looking back, I'm like, no, the vision was still kind of unclear and you didn't really know what was going on. But it happens. You're young. Not to make any excuses, and that's kind of part of being young, is that you think you know something. But I'm glad I kind of found out early on, because I feel like I still come across a lot of adults who really think they know something, and it's like, we gotta always keep an open mind. We gotta let other people teach us things, and I think that's something that I did have. I was very open-minded, but mistakes were made. Although, like, is it really a mistake if you eventually learn from it? You know, I can say that everything that I learned within my college journey, it did teach me something, but there are things that I could have avoided. If you're watching this, you're probably in college, you're probably navigating life, maybe you're in high school and you want to look at what someone who went through college has to say about their journey, and you're in the right place. One thing I will say about going to college, it's a really nice bridge into adulthood. When you are a student, you have privileges. Making sure that the major that you choose aligns with where you're going. And I would say that's one thing that I did do right. I didn't ignore my interests, and my major was entertainment media management. I did have people kind of raising eyebrows like, well, what are you about to do with that? And I'm like, well, I want to go in and learn the business, because I had already had experience in front of the camera. So I was like, I want to go in and learn the technical things. My university was paid for, so I didn't go out of pocket. So I'm glad that I went to college, because I feel like it helped me more than harmed me, especially being in my type of situation where I was really looking to get out of my mom's house and not just go straight into the workforce, even though I was already working with my social media world. But it gave me a chance to make more connections. Message to my college self, I'm really happy you went. College is a make it or break it, but I think it was very essential for my journey. Never really had a real relationship in high school, so I was introduced to a real relationship in college, and then I'm like living in my own place, had a lot of freedom to just kind of do whatever I wanted to do. My romantic relationships were not the healthiest. A message to my college self, when you see the red flag, listen to them. Take people for who they are. Just because people commit a couple mistakes, that doesn't mean that that's who they are, because I've committed mistakes myself, and I would hate to be looked at for my mistakes. But when people continue to show you time and time and time again who they are, and that they have these certain tendencies, you have to listen to them. It's like I knew what was going wrong, but instead of just leaving, I was just still there trying to prove to that person that I wasn't the one in the wrong. I was wrong for trying to prove that I wasn't the one in the wrong. You got to take things for what they are and trust your own intuition and trust your own judgment in order to cut those things off. So, message to my college self, trust your intuition. Be so secure in your knowledge that you can take the steps and have the bravery to leave things. Don't argue with people who you know are in the wrong. What is the argument about? What are you even trying to prove at that point? Leave those people alone. I think in college I was definitely oversharing and overposting a lot of my business. I can't be in my mysterious bag. I've never been a mysterious girl. I'm very outgoing. I like to share my stories. That's one thing. But I think I acted off emotion. Don't do that. If you're feeling emotional, take a step back from the situation, reassess, and then act upon things once those heightened emotions are at bay. Don't double back on any exes. Your exes are your exes for a reason. There is no need to reopen a lot of those chapters. I can definitely admit to being around people that didn't necessarily align with the things that I believed in. No, you know what? I'm gonna be real. I think I was trying to change people, and that's where I'm at fault for. Aside from that, it was like lack of research. I didn't do enough research on some of the individuals that I was around. I didn't sit back and observe for long enough. So then once I was involved in something, I was like, well, let's figure it out. But some things do not need any figuring out about. You can just accept things for what they are. I would tell my college self to be nicer to herself. Instead of working on certain things, I would just beat myself up about them. And that is not gonna take you anywhere. Accept the situation that you're in, reassess, redefine, and reenact. Go about things in a better way. All those really nice words that I had for other people, I didn't really have for myself because I always thought I could have been doing better. You watch my high school video, this is a problem that I've had, I think, throughout my life. And it's something that I've just needed to work on. But luckily, I'm in a much better, I still catch myself with some negative self-talk, but I feel like I could catch it much better now. And also, I did not need to be smoking that much. Yeah, I didn't do any hard drugs in college, but I think the smoking slowed me down. Maybe my excuse was like, oh, well, I'm not going out and like buying this, but it was like, okay, but you're still indulging. Just because it's around you doesn't mean that you need to take it. It didn't even align with who I wanted to become. That's an important thing too, having such a clear vision of who you want to be and understanding the habits of what that person would carry. Part of me being with the wrong crowd for me. I'm not bashing anybody from the past. It was me. I was just ignoring the signs and just kind of not taking control of my own life that I didn't. I would tell my college self, she did not know the amount of power that she had, especially when this was the time where my social media presence grew, and I think I allowed a lot of external factors to kind of mold me. But again, forgive yourself. Looking back now, I think I could have avoided a lot if I was actually integrating the practices that I was learning. I could have definitely been on a much stricter schedule. If you're not pouring into yourself on a moment by moment basis, then you're taking away from yourself. And this goes in terms of career, the gym, anything that you could possibly think of. I had really high highs and really low lows. I mean, I didn't know how to let people help me at that time. I felt like I always had to take on this role of helping other people, and I think I was too afraid to ask for help. And I feel like I knew a lot conceptually, but I wasn't applying it. And it's like you have to apply what you think you know, because even if you fail at it, well, then you can re-strategize and continue the growth on top of that. I had a lot of fears. I think that's why I didn't try as much. Maybe I was afraid to be seen trying, or I was afraid to be seen asking for help. So that has to do a lot with pride and ego, and again, building this persona that I believed knew so much. But it's like, no, you have these people around you to help. I would definitely tell my college self to use her resources much more wisely, and that goes for inside of school and within just my personal life. I wasted I hate to say that time was wasted, because everything is a learning experience, and at least now I'm 23 and I can grasp this, and I don't have to be like 30 in a toxic relationship or within friendships that are unbalanced. All in all, college self Drea, you thought you knew something, and you knew something. You had a ball. You did experience a lot. But like nothing was wasted, because it all brought you here. Life is quite nice here. Although I could say, oh, you would have been here, you would have been there if you didn't do this or you didn't do that. And although that is true, it's like, well, it all led me here, and I'm so happy to be here with the people that I'm with. Now I'm just, I'm taking in all those lessons and doing better. Boss up on them every time. Just do better. The best revenge is when you revoke access. The best revenge is when you work harder and reach the goals. You don't have to even think twice about any of these characters. Just do the work and don't indulge in the unhealthy habits. If you guys have any questions about college, choosing majors, what to do, how to connect with people, we could get into that in a whole other video, but that's it for today. Hi guys, love you guys, appreciate you guys, and drink some tea.